ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Stelter here with the Kenora Minor News, and Chris Jones, tournament coordinator of the first annual Kenora Minor News Community Shield. We're a week away, or we're a week out from it happening. Yep. How'd it go? How was it?
I think, you know what, it was fantastic overall. I think everything went smoothly. It all went really well. It was a pretty good success. All the teams had a really good time, all things considered. I mean, there were some game day hiccups, but
just a little bit.
that got dealt with and cleared out. But in the end, it was a fantastic time.
Yeah, no, it was enjoyable. I mean, you playing on the Gunners, how was your tournament? I know you guys got mired by injuries, but you know, how was it for you boys? You know what,
it was really great. We started the first game with just 11 guys, and then we picked up a couple of guys, and then the injuries started piling up. So by the last day, we were decimated by injuries. But at the same time, you know, it's fun. We love playing, so we were out, we were playing, and that's for us. That was the main thing.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I mean, for me on Stingers, it was a bit of a battle, not having a lot of guys. I think that was the biggest struggle for us. But you know, it was fun. It was a good way to spend a day, and you know, so I guess. You know, why don't we go run down how did the round robin go? Who kind of won? Who lost? What was the big storyline for you outside of the hiccup on Saturday afternoon?
We'll get into that. So no, I think the round robin went really well. I think the biggest challenge I think every single team had is they hadn't played any games leading up. So you've got 3 games to go in the day, but I think the round robin went really well. Most of the teams did decently. We you know, lost Playa's. The local team, they came second overall, but they had a great day. They cleaned up throughout the day. They did really good. One of the teams, Stonewall from Winnipeg, they again fantastic team, really let in. But the outstanding performance, of course, was Frankie's Pizzeria. They are a heck of a good team, and they came in, you know, and they really did a good job at handling the ball and putting it in the net. So. Yeah,
no, they were good. They were passing the ball well. I mean, we felt the full extent of it. We don't have to list the final score here, but the Stingers felt the full wrath of Frankie's. And the best thing about that, they're a good group of guys, and I think they were fun to play against, even though, you know, they did run up the score on us. They're good guys, and I was happy to see them win. You know, as much as Playas is the local team, Frankie's well deserving. I think they were real good group of guys to play against. Hopefully they come out for more tournaments in the future. Yeah. But you know, how was that final game? You lines it. What was that like?
Oh, the final game was fantastic. It was really good. Like, I know that Frankie's had it kind of tough. I mean, Playas came first overall, so they played the one game in the semis, and they beat us, the Gunners, and you know, well deserved win there. So they had a little bit of time, but even then, like, you know, they played 3 games, and if you're not playing all summer, it's kind of rough. So Frankie's came off just the most grueling game against Stonewall. Stonewall took them right to the task, and they went into 2 15s of overtime, and then Stonewall lost on the PKs. So Frankie's was pretty beat going in, but it just kind of goes to show to the quality of their team and the camaraderie they have, because when they showed up to play us, they brought it like there was nothing, right? They had no games behind them, so it was a fantastic game.
Yeah, for sure. So, but that wasn't even the best. You called the best game was that Stonewall game. You touched on it. I mean, how I'm assuming I wasn't able to watch that one, but I mean, going to PKs, I guess that was pretty intense. Only PK the whole tournament, I think.
Yeah. No, you know what? That really was like going in. Like, that was kind of, I had talked to Stonewall guys before, and kind of talked to the Frankies, and you know, I mean, you don't have any preconceived notions of these things, but just kind of the way that they're playing, like Stonewall, solid back line. They got some great players, and that game was just back and forth the entire time. Like, it was zeros. There was lots of great chances, and guys just kept coming up clutch. There was a couple of times when Jay Ferris, who's the captain of Stonewall, he was playing net. He came up clutch twice in the last period, or the half, and put it into overtime. And then in the first period of the 15 minutes, Frankie's put one in and kind of put the pressure on, and then Matt on Stonewall tied it up, and that's the way the game was. It was back and forth the entire time, super clean. You know, it was a damn good game. And then we got to PKs. On Frankie's, they went up first, and they missed first. But then right afterwards, Stonewall missed, so it was back to tied, and that was kind of hit and miss until the very last one. The Stonewall went up. He went bar down, and it was just one of those calls where you take a look, like, did it go in or did it not? Credit to the ref, because Ian, who refed it, was you know bang on, and he ruled that it just did not go over the line enough, and that's what did it. So it was an intense game, but man, love both those teams, and I'm glad that it went well.
No, that's awesome. That's great. And we mentioned a hiccup earlier. Do we want to talk about it, or?
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about it. I think because going into all these kind of tournaments, my entire goal as commissioner is to have the integrity and the fair play. I want everybody to be on an equal fair playing field as much as possible. So we had a team come in the rules it states that you cannot have any player above Division 3 in the Winnipeg League, which is there's Div 3 and then 2, 1, and then Premier. And that's just because with Div 3, you're kind of looking at the same playing field, you're kind of looking at the same caliber. But when you start getting up into those higher divs, I mean, 1 or 2 players can make or break. So that was part of the rules, and a team came down, and it was very evident after the first couple of games that these guys were really, really good. So they played a game, and after the game, and there was some commotion on the field and off the pitch. And it was brought to my attention that they had 5 players currently rostered on a Premier team, and one of their players just got picked up to go play in the MLS. Yeah,
was draft pick of the Seattle Sounders. Great player though, great player.
Oh man, yeah. Like I'm not going to take away anything from them. They are fantastic players, but at the end of the day, it's not. This isn't a tournament for them, right?
No, for sure. Yeah.
So unfortunately, the decision was made that they had to be disqualified. So they were disqualified and asked to leave, and then we had to reformat the Sunday. But in all in that, I think it worked out fantastically well.
Yeah, I think all things considered, you made the right call there, and getting rid of them, and also restructuring the way the tournament was going to go forward. So are we looking forward to next year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think next year is going to be another. Well, I mean, it'll be different again, right? Because this year with all the COVID stuff and everything, there's certain challenges. Like teams just not having the prep time. So the next year going in, teams are going to have a lot more time to prep, and we can see what we're going to do, and maybe and keep proceeding, and hopefully have a lot more teams. There were a lot of teams that were interested in coming, but again, just through the COVID and kind of just due to not playing, they decided not to come, and we made the decision. So next year is going to be a whole new game.
I hope so. I mean, I hope we're through enough this pandemic that we can go back to normal life and have a tournament, a bigger tournament, in a men's league in Kenora and also a women's league. Both, it'd be nice to have both of those back, playing out here on Tom Nab. It was a pleasure working with you, Chris. I think we wrapped it up, and hopefully we're chatting again soon. Yeah,
absolutely. We've got a couple of new things depending on how the winter pans out. There's indoor, and every year, like last year's was canceled, but the Super Cup is always in April. It's the 6th year. Thus last year being canceled, so it continues on. So there'll be lots more to talk about coming through. So
I hope so. And the Premier League starts up. Real football starts up again. So I'm looking forward to it. Excited.
September 12th. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Later.
That was good.